one of Eric's friends that knew one of his friends, and he just let me keep punching him in the face, and I loved it. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Awful.
Now you're a little older than me, so you might have had a little bit more grandpa stories than I do. Another show is a grandma show, and that'd probably be 2 episodes in 2 hours.
That needs to be another show.
Because
yeah.
I keep telling people about the Cheryl moving stuff in Grandma's house story, but that'd be by another show. But what else about Grandpa do you remember? I don't remember a lot anymore, but...
You remember this, I know you do, when one time he was real drunk and he'd come home from the bar to take his afternoon nap and then get ready to go back over, and he'd usually change his shirt. And he put one of Grandma's blouses on that had, like, lace on it, and he didn't even know, and we let him go across the street. And we were rolling the floor laughing so hard.
Man, you get him killed in Elwood, Indiana at Silver Dollar Tavern.
And we put signs on his back, kick me and kiss me and stuff like that. And the bar was across the street, and they'd send me over there to get cigarettes. Did you have to go over to get cigarettes?
Yeah, I'd have to go. Grandma
all the time.
Yeah, they'd make me go over there and get cigarettes or walk. I mean, the door would be wide open all the time. And a little kid walking across the street and sticking my head in that bar, which was scary as all get out when you've got a bust of a black man with devil horns coming out of his hair on the side of the wall. A bust of a black man's head. Mm-hmm. And we're going to go in there as a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old kid and go, Ian, go over there and get your grandpa out of the bar. Come home. And, you know.
He'd let us sit at the bar, and he'd say, you want a 7-Up in those little bottles? I don't think they washed them, or he thought it was funny. I swear they always had some kind of whiskey in them. I could taste it.
Oh, they didn't look clean at all, and I used to think I was king stuff when I had a cowboy hat sitting on the bar, 5 years old with a Coke and a straw.
Straws
yeah.
And playing shuffleboard and pool.
Yeah. And that was not probably the safest bar probably in Indiana to go to, but I guess everybody had their back, so we were good to go.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, I remember this. One of those drunks that always went to their bar was Ronnie Miller, and he would always be drunk. Was it Ronnie Miller?
Yeah.
He would always be drunk driving that 10-speed, and he'd have what did he have in his hand? A Miller beer bottle or a can?
I think it was a brown bag of some kind of cheap whiskey, and he about got hit by a car, and he wrecked out, and he got up and said, "It's saved," and held his bottle up. And we were sitting on the porch.
Oh, my gosh, it was great. I remember that. It was so awesome. And, this is probably a grandma story, but Grandpa's buddy or somebody they took in was Red Hassel.
Uh-huh.
Old Red Hassel, and Grandma took him in. I don't know if he was homeless or just a drifter or a drunk, didn't have a family, and they'd sit him down at the dinner table or breakfast table and eat. And man, we'd say, and he would leave after that. I said, "Grandma, was that?" I said, "Was that?" We'd always say, "Grandma, did you say red asshole?" And she goes, "No, it's Red Hassel." And she gets so we drove her about nuts.
So mad.
Boy, she'd get mad.
I'd like to stay up and listen to the bar fights in that one bedroom with the twin beds.
Oh, my.
And if there wasn't a fight on, we'd ask Grandma if we could go over there, or she could start one for us so we could watch it.
Oh, my gosh, it was so exciting when it was scary in Elwood, but exciting in the same thing. We never knew what was going to happen. Never knew what fight was going to break out.
Eric said, remember when old Red took a big shit in the garage?
Oh, yes. Big as a cow patty in the corner of the garage. At least as big as a cow patty.
Grandma was so mad she kicked him out after that. For taking that crap in the garage.
You can't take in every homeless guy in Elwood and keep him in your garage. It don't work.
No.
So it was a good old day. I miss Grandma and Grandpa, man. I know they weren't perfect, but boy, I miss them. Whenever I go through Elwood, the memories flood in my head about all the stuff they did.
Good times.
Good times.
Yeah, I think Grandma ought to be a different show because you can tell.
Yeah, we'll have to.
2 or 3 shows about her.
Oh, I know. There's a lot more material for her because she did a lot of strange stuff and weird, wacky stuff. And her language, I don't think if she was on the podcast today, if anybody'd understand what word she said, unless you knew.
Probably not. You still have that video of her when we lived down in Indianapolis?
Gosh, I'm not sure. I'd have to dig. I think I got videos of some
I'd
home
love
videos.
to see
I probably need to dig that up. I'll probably have to dig that up for us sometime because I don't want to lose them because you almost have to make sure you transfer them to flash drives anymore because nobody hardly loses DVDs anymore. So I probably need to make sure I transfer that so we don't lose those good memories. Hey, but
that's for sure.
But Sky, thanks for calling. I really appreciate it. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys know when this comes out. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you too. Bye.
Hey, Matt, I remember when we were in high school, I'd come over to your grandma and grandpa's house, and I'd sit in the living room. I'm sitting there. TV'd be on, blaring. Next thing you know, it's muted. The next commercial, it's not. Next commercial, it's muted. I'm like, what in the heck is going on? Took me the longest to figure out what the heck your grandpa was doing. What was he doing?
Yeah, like it was a TV malfunction. Well, it wasn't a TV malfunction. Basically, what was going on was anything that was Japanese-based, of course, if you knew my grandfather, being a Korean war vet and a World War II war vet, he despises anything that has to do with, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Taiwan, anything like that. I mean, he's about as straight-laced, American as what American could be defined. So anytime anything would come on and, it'd be Toyota, Mitsubishi, Honda, anything like that. I mean, he's like, oh, piss on that, and, damn Mitsubishi, Lee Iacocca, he just want to started all that shit and he's the one that, he built good warplanes and blah, 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 and damn Americans, you went ahead and didn't want to do us any favors. They wanted to bomb us at Pearl Harbor, and what do we do in return? We go and buy their damn product. So basically what he was doing was muting the TV because he didn't feel like he needed to listen to any of the commercials.
Yeah.
Now that he's still living and he'll be 93 next month, now he pretty much mutes everything, and he just sits there and watches it.
Oh, okay.
And,
he's pretty with it still, huh?
Oh, yeah. He just, he puts... basically, the closed captioning to where the words come up under the TV.
Oh, gotcha.
And keeps it silent, and kind of mumbles and farts around there, to himself, and disgruntledness, So, yeah, I mean, he still does all that.
Does he live in a nursing home or is he still in the house?
He's actually lives in one of my homes. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And he has, nursing, people to come in and everything like that.
Oh, good.
He still does all right. He's on a walker and, things like that. And, how old people get, they get up and they grab the walker and they go to walk and they have to fart every step that they take, oh, gotta go to the bathroom, that sort of thing, and, but yeah, he's still all there. I mean, basically, he's still disgruntled, that kind of generation, I think.
Yeah.
Times have changed. I mean, and there's not too many 92 or 93-year-old people that I know of, that are like computer illiterate.
Wow.
And they don't know how to get on Facebook. They don't know how to get on. He doesn't. He can't even work a cell phone.
Yeah.
He still wants one of those old rotary ones on the wall, that he pulls off and has to hold it to his ear and speak into the thing.
Yeah.
But. So much for that. But
yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, he's, he was pretty spunky back when he was younger. A story I can tell you. My dad went, years ago. He had his '64 Impala, and it was my grandfather's, and he was going towards Point Isabel on State Road 26, and of course, it kind of gets kind of hilly right there before the stoplight, and my dad was, running that old '64 Impala for all that it was worth. And it was wet out. And he got up to go hit the brakes, and he was out there by the stoplight, and he hydroplaned through that intersection, back where the old filling station, the firehouse now out there by the church. And actually, he hydroplaned my grandfather's car and tried saving it, but he slid, and there was a big concrete barrier that held the sign up to the place. And he slid the car full speed into that concrete barrier and totaled the whole side of it out.
Oh man.
And of course, my grandfather, police department was called and everything, and Sherry, she said, Dad, I think Bob wrecked your car, and it's over there at the gas station, and there's all kinds of police and fire department over there. So my grandpa was like, oh, shit, great, let's go see what in the hell's going on now. And, he walks over there, and lo and behold, the police officer's there, and he looks at my dad, and he says, Bobby, are you okay? And my dad said, yeah, I think I'm all right, Dad. And he said, my grandfather goes, well, you're not now. And he balled his fist up, and he knocked him out right in front of the police officer. Yeah.
And back then, he'd been hauled to jail, but... I mean, back then he wouldn't have been.
They didn't really do much, back then.
Now, heck, he'd be done for life. But back then, hey, that's just good parent discipline right there.
yeah. And you get the stories all the time. I get stories about, he was really conservative. He was in Hawaii, and the whole time, guys were going out and partying and doing this and doing that. He was, he was sending money home, and he was sticking money back, for when he came home. Not to say that it really ever mattered to him. My great grandfather, he was spending all the money that my grandfather was sending home, on alcohol and booze, drinking it away.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't doing him any good. Hell, he should have went and had a layout or something over there in Hawaii himself and got drunk and laid and everything else. I mean, he knows what he should have did, but he didn't. But like I said, he was pretty conservative. He just, but I mean, as far as being disgruntled, I mean, he thinks that he knows everything. Damn the Republicans. I mean, which unfortunately, I mean, I can tell you, I mean, politics is politics, and a lot of people don't talk about it, but, I was really surprised to see that he's all for Donald Trump being a Republican Party.
Yeah.
So that's really shocking, because that's the first in all my life I've ever heard that he said it had anything to say about Republican, and he's like, he's the only one that's got any balls to do anything. Yeah. Put the borders up. Get rid of them fuckers. I mean, that's his thing, so that's why he's all for it,
Yeah.
But, I mean, I know, it's just funny because, you think back and it's like, I knew your grandfather, back when he owned the bar and stuff, we'd go over by your grandma's house and she'd have the market set up over there, We'd go over there, man. It was like open up the pickup truck door, man, and there'd be like 5 cases of beer cans in it, of freaking Pabst Blue Ribbon, you know what I'm saying? And through there,
he was the first 10 minutes of this show.
Oh yeah, man. No one. He's the one that kept Pabst in business all these years,
probably.
Man. I'm telling you, man.
Probably.
I mean, he could drink, man.
His liver probably was the profits of 1 year for poor Pabst, but
Yeah, it probably looked like a dehydrated prune.
Yeah.
Would be my guess,
Yeah, I loved him to death, but he sure couldn't put it down.
Oh yeah, great guy. Well, he sure could drink, and all that, and of course, I mean, and then of course. And then like the way, our grandfathers were, then you had the grandmothers in through there, and it was like you had Nellie there, and, and then you had my grandmother Pappy, Robert, in through there, and, give me another cherry pie. I mean, so, it's
yeah, it's the good old days, man.
Oh yeah, good old days. So,
where are you going? Where are you DJing tonight? Are you RPs or Rebels?
Yep.
What are you doing tonight?
Yep, I'm actually at RPs tonight and tomorrow night.
Oh, cool.
I've got all my stuff.
You said I got last weekend it was really good. The RPs was really busy.
Yeah, and we're supposed to have pretty good turnout. So I'm told tonight. So there's been a lot of inquiry and a lot of people as far as
good
asking if we do anything. So like I said, I've got a pretty decent setup. I mean, I've got, I usually run 3, 100-inch or a bit bigger, 150-inch big screens.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we've got a digital bowling machine in there that hooks up off of one screen that I usually use.
Cool.
But I've got a regular flat screen TV, a big one mounted on the wall, and the other projection screens that I run off of. And, of course, you know how Virtual DJ 8 works. So, I spin two tables and auto mix, music and videos together to come over on the screen.
Oh, cool. And
then if I want to do, the karaoke format, if they want to sing into there, then I can pop right over on Carafone real quick and pop up their stuff, and all the lyrics will come up.
That's pretty cool.
And so it's an all right setup. I I run about 10,000 watts.
Yeah, cool.
Through it, and then cordless mic set up, of course.